because we care.
The Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. And Automotive Art Cayman, your car, our passion.
And now,
Radio Cayman presents
The Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local environment. This is where we address the topics that matter.
Here's your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning, Cayman. Welcome to The Buzz. I hope everybody's enjoying a still nice and quiet ride into work today. I can tell you for sure school has started, at least in the States, because I saw on Monday people were sending their kids to school. And I was like, it's just August 11th. What is going on? Today is August 14th, so I guess we're in those final couple of weeks, and the kids are going to be back on the road and going to school, and the roads are going to be a little busier. So enjoy this time while you can. We are talking all about physiotherapy in the first segment of The Buzz this morning. And if you know me at least a little bit, you know that I've spent about 1/3 of my life in physio. I'm used to be always injured. Sometimes people don't see me for a couple months and they're just looking at me to see, okay, Kathy, what did you break this time? It's been a while, guys. I've been all right. Well, I'll tell you about a reoccurring injury with my guest here that I have from Cayman Physiotherapy. We have Mr. Andrey Tahal. So good morning, Andy. How are you doing today?
I'm really good. Thanks for having me on.
It's good to have you on. And I know I just warmed up the topic by letting you know that I've spent 1/3 of my life injured. And so you might hear about some of my injuries during the show here.
The good news was that you mentioned it's previous rather than current, so it means that you're kind of progressing and going somewhere, which is...
Well, maybe, perhaps. But, we'll get there. So you are a physiotherapist with Cayman Physiotherapy, and if you can, give us a bit of a background. Tell us about yourself. Let our listeners know who you are.
So I'm a physiotherapist qualified in the UK. I've qualified in 2019, I think it was. Before that, I'd done masters in clinical exercise physiology and taken part in a larger range of competitive sports. So moving into physiotherapy, it was a case of wanting to develop myself, help with rehabilitation and injuries from a mix of my own experience and people around me. And I've worked through the NHS, gone through general rotations for neurology, respiratory care, elderly medicine, and orthopedics and musculoskeletal problems, which now that I've come to Cayman, the main things that I deal with are orthopedics and musculoskeletal trauma, basically.
Okay. So
skeletal
trauma.
So it's basically when you think about anything to do with the muscles, the body, that's the general gist. So it's almost like an expansion of orthopedics. So when you're looking at postural back pain, neck problems, general rotator cuff issues, calf strains, so that kind of falls into orthopedics, but kind of slightly branches out into the broader rather than that surgical sense that we often look at it in.
But do you specialize in something with physio?
Yes. So my specialism is with musculoskeletal injuries.
Okay, that's your specialism there. Okay, yeah. All right. And you said you were a bit of a sports enthusiast yourself?
Yeah, I like to think so anyway.
Me too. I'm now a retired wannabe semi-professional athlete, so retired is the key part here. And when it comes to, well, I think you had said you were interested in, you were interested in yourself and kind of how physio affects other people, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said in the intro for yourself. So I can understand that, because when you're athletic and doing something and you get injured and you're like, oh, how do I get back to it? Your mind goes there into a deeper interest in that, right?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely is something that kind of makes you wonder, okay, well, how could I progress myself? How can I get around this hurdle, move beyond it? And then if you can't, well, what could I have changed? What difference is there? And then can I bring that to other people, other athletes? And it's not necessarily just athletes, it's people even in your generic workplace. What can we do to facilitate improvement and make you more comfortable and enjoy life a bit more?
I think it's so interesting because athletic performance and with what athletes have to go through on a day-to-day basis is different from your average person, right?
Yeah.
No, I'd like to say I was part of that elite group. I don't know really if I was. I think my mind would like to place me there, but we are no longer there. But we are trying to keep away from the injuries. Now, Cayman Physiotherapy. There's a different physiotherapy places that you can go to be treated in Cayman, right?
Yeah.
But I always like to ask, what sets a business apart from another one? So what would you say sets Cayman Physiotherapy aside from other physiotherapy centers?
So I think Cayman Physio is different. It's been in Cayman for pretty much 30 years, so it's one of the oldest physio practices on the island. And it was set up and is still owned and run by healthcare professionals. So everything about the clinic is set up in a caring manner, and all the staff got into healthcare, so whether that's our chiropractics, acupuncture, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, the list kind of goes on, but whether that's just everyone got into that to try and help progress people, whereas a lot of business nowadays, healthcare is massive. It's literally is a massive business.
Yeah, and growing.
And it is a growing business, and you suddenly look at that and you go, okay, well, these other businesses, have they set up to help people, or is this to kind of cash in on someone's insurance policy? And and you know, you get these things where people are brought back continuously, and I think the aim for us is to, if we can, as much as we love seeing people, fix you as quickly as possible, and kind of get you out the door, get you back to your normal life. Because again, Cayman's a small place, word of mouth is massive, so if we can fix you quickly, yes, unfortunately, we may get rid of you for this certain problem, but then you'll speak to your friends, oh wow, you know, I went to Cayman Physiotherapy and they fixed this problem, you know, really quickly. I've suddenly been able to do things I've not been able to do for 10 years. So that's I think what sets us apart is we try and make it more personalized to you and work with you, and we're definitely not just a business.
I said, when you spoke about the insurance part, because I feel, from my personal experience, one of my really, really terrible injuries that pretty much stopped me from playing kind of any sport. I can play pickleball now, but I am one of those people who look down on on the whole. I'm like, really, are we really ranking in pickleball, guys? Come on. But anyways, it's a whole other, yes, I said it. It's a whole other thing. But in saying that, when I was in physio for about 2 straight years, I was going 3 times a week. And there was a point that I know that I hit in my physio, that it was a wall. I wasn't getting better. And it was almost 6 more months of physio before I threw in the towel. And I was like, why are we doing this? Like, you see, there's no progress. I see. And to me, it was a, I mean, they're never going to admit it, right? But to me, it was more of a sense of, okay, well, you know, your doctor's saying keep going and the insurance is covering it. So, like, why are you bothered? But I'm like, but there's no progress. So when we get stuck in our, as a patient, when we get stuck in our service, what can we do to try to go somewhere else? Because we don't know. So like, we're trusting you guys to say whether we can get better or not, right?
So I think a lot of the time so basic things like a rotator cuff, which is a really, really common injury.
Yes,
and
especially in here at Radio Cayman, yes.
I've already been accosted this morning
yes.
with asking for advice and things. And I think for certain aspects of a rotator cuff pathology, you find that it can actually take 4 months, so 16 weeks, of doing the same thing over and over before you actually elicit a different result, which is quite an interesting one. So even though from a soft tissue kind of so muscular and tendon point of view, in theory you should be past any damage by 8 to 12 weeks, certain things like rotator cuffs have been shown to sometimes not show any change for 16 weeks. So the hardest thing is about getting people to buy in to going, well, even if you give up on this because, you know, we're seeing the same thing as you, and this is obviously, we're just stagnating at this point. You need to keep going with the exercises as much as it feels like you're banging your head against a brick wall, which quite often with physio, you know, you will have a week, 2 week, you know, even 3-4 weeks periods where you're going, what on earth am I doing here? It's about having the faith in what you're doing, keeping consistency, knowing that we're building. So to actually change muscular structure, you're looking at a kind of a 6-8 week window to progress it. So your first week, 2 weeks, you get neuromuscular changes where you're getting muscle kind of neuromuscular recruitment, all the fibers start firing, and you kind of see a sudden jump. You're like, wow, I'm really improving. And then you kind of get to a point where quite often we'll say, okay, we've got that improvement. We're kind of slowing down a little bit. Either I'm going to tweak something where we're going to make it a little bit harder, or just completely kind of change the exercise. And then you might take off again. Or, right, we're going to almost reduce the frequency a little bit, smash on with these exercises. I know it's going to be dull, but we need to kind of do your homework as such. And I know from even being in school, everyone hates homework. And it's really hard to fit these things into your daily life. So what I try and get people to do is what you call habit stacking, basically. So you're sticking an exercise and attributing it to something you would normally do. So for a basic example of, if you have hurt your hip, or you've damaged your ankle, when you're doing your teeth, trying to stand on one leg. So you can't really do much when you're doing your teeth. So stand on one leg.
Okay, to try to strengthen.
Just try and strengthen it, get that stability, get the muscles firing.
Okay.
Other basic things when you're driving. So if you've, say, got a postural problem with your neck, this isn't always the case of,
I'm like, I don't know if you should be doing anything else but driving.
Smashing through different things, or other people, obviously. But
we do have the police on next to talk about traffic. So
oh, there you go. We'll be safe then. But basic things like doing a chin tuck, so that's kind of almost retracting your head and pressing the lower part of your skull into the headrest of the car, holding onto the steering wheel and just gently pulling towards you. Hopefully your steering wheel doesn't come off. But, it's those basic things to engage around your shoulders. So that can be a big thing for postural management. If we're starting to get neck pain, we're suddenly bringing yourself back into a normal posture. And that can be, quite helpful.
Okay, interesting. So there could be times where we're just kind of hitting a plateau.
Yeah.
But we know, you understand why as a physiotherapist. It's just us as patients needing to understand.
Yeah, so I think it's important, just if you've ever got questions, ask.
Can we at all, as a patient, suggest, if we feel we're frustrated with something, can we say, hey, can we try a different technique? Or I heard about this method? Or
Yeah.
Does that feel like it undermines you at all as a physiotherapist?
No,
Okay.
I mean, it's always important to know what your patient's goals are, what they want to try. And if it's something that we don't think is going to work, we'll explain why we don't think it's going to work. And as I even had a person yesterday who was asking about a type of laser treatment. I was going, well, for something with lots of calcification, things like that, that would actually be really, really useful. For just a general kind of soft tissue kind of spasm in your neck, it's probably not really going to do anything. So it's not going to be great value for your time. So that's the thing. It's kind of looking at what time you've got, what's going to give you benefit. If there's other things that you want to try and we are stuck and we're not progressing, then we can try it.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah.
As I said before on a different show, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I know. When I say it, sometimes...
Don't want to know the context of that, really, but okay.
There's more than one way to do things.
Okay.
That's all. All right, we're gonna go to a commercial break right now. When we come back, we will continue our conversation with Andy from Cayman Physiotherapy.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Spurgeon Andrew Ebanks, OBE, JP, 1914 through 1994. Spurgeon Ebanks served as headmaster in the government schools in North Side, Spot Bay in Cayman Brac, and West Bay from 1935 to 1946. He went to sea for a period of 6 years, returning home to manage his business in West Bay. He served as the sub-collector of taxes and customs for West Bay. He was a member of the Legislative Assembly, serving his district for 3 terms, in 1957 through 1959, 1963 through 1965, and in 1966 through 1968. He was the first Deputy President of the LA and chaired the Cayman Islands branch of the Parliamentary Association. He served on various boards, committees, and tribunals. He was appointed Justice of the Peace in 1961 and received his OBE in 1978. He was a member, elder, and treasurer of the West Bay, now John Gray Memorial Presbyterian Church. Mr. Ebanks was married twice, to Ina Nee Ebanks for 48 years and to Iola Nee Bodden for the last 8 years of his life. He had 4 daughters. He was a kind and considerate man, always willing to help those less fortunate than himself.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Cruise into summer with expert service from Automotive Art Cayman. More than a retail store, it's your one-stop auto care shop. We offer paint, detailing, accessories, wheels, Yamaha parts and products, batteries, tire repairs, tire changes, and more. Need top-tier shine and protection? Grab Gibson detailing gear, Chevron synthetic oil, and Axiom car care kits. Get expert service with premium products all under one roof. Wherever you cruise, make your pit stop at Automotive Art first. Find us on Shedden Road and follow us at Auto Art KY on Instagram and Automotive Art Cayman on Facebook.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Hey man, it's time to move. Lace up those sneakers and join the Alzheimer's and Dementia Association of the Cayman Islands on Sunday, September 7th at Kamana Bay for the World Walks Against Dementia 2025 5K Run Walk. Be part of something big, a global movement spanning 61 countries, and the walk and run together to raise awareness and support for people living with dementia, their families, and caregivers. One day, one cause, one powerful step at a time. Register now at Race Caribbean or download the form at adacayman.ky. Adults are $25 and children 17 and under or $10. Let's walk for those who can't. Let's walk for change. Let's walk against dementia. ADACI. Together, we're making a difference.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
All right, right. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and I'm speaking with Andrey Tahal from Cayman Physiotherapy. He gave us a bit of an intro to what he does in Cayman as a physiotherapist, his career background. We got into a little bit about the services that he offers, the specialties that he focuses on, which is, I'm going to say it a little wrong, so it's
musculoskeletal medicine.
Skeletal. It's the word skeletal for me because I never use it. So it's a different word for me. All right. I want to talk about, with physiotherapy, in the most kind of common injuries that you do see come in. I know that you focus, I think you said there was 2 kind of areas that you mainly focus on, but I would ask, with that, what are the most common injuries that you see with people coming in, and how can we prevent them? Because I'm sure some of them are just...
So, I mean, the most common ones that we see generally are kind of muscular strains. So that's anything through hamstrings, quad strains, so the front of the thigh, back of the thigh, calf strains,
yes,
rotator cuff injuries, which pickleball is definitely decently responsible for, and then all the other weird and wonderfuls that people do. And then one of the most common ones as well is ankle sprain, especially through the rugby and the Gaelic football, and just Cayman in general through sports. A lot of the surfaces are maybe not so even in places. Thinking of that little pitch off the side of Ed Bush, you'll be running along and it's like the sniper's got you because you've just fallen down a hole.
Yeah, they're terrible. Everywhere. They're terrible.
And then the change of direction on, certain of the 4G pitches, they can grab your ankle as such, and will grab your cleats. And as you turn, either your ankle's going to go or your knee's going to go.
Yeah.
So we see a lot of ACLs on islands as well, which is a bit of a worry. But again, I think it's related to the sports that we have and the pitches that we have as well. But yeah, I think the main one is probably ankle sprains, I would say.
Okay. And I feel like this is a bit of a recurrence in my life. I have a recurring ankle problem.
Okay.
And despite me thinking, okay, I know what to do. I know to ice and elevate and rest. I know these things, right? And sometimes from all the other injuries, I'll have the Voltaren on the side, or the Icy Hot, or the, is it BioFreeze? I forget what it's called.
Yeah, BioFreeze, yeah.
Yeah. So I have all these little things that I'll throw on it later. But it just keeps happening. So then I get worried. What can I do to help prevent that? Or is there something that I might be unconsciously doing that is causing this reoccurring injury to happen?
I think it depends on, to some extent, what the specific ankle injury is. So the most common one is kind of a rolling over the outside of your ankle.
Yeah, that's mine.
Once you've done that, generally most people have 20% more likelihood of actually redoing it because they get chronic ankle instability. So even with huge amounts of rehab, you still will have a higher predisposition to rolling it again, which is always traumatic and slightly worrying.
You look sad as you're telling me, so yes.
It's not a highlight, but I think you can definitely minimize the risks by building the strength, building kind of your neuromuscular control as well, and also just being conscious of it. So if you know you're going to be, doing something that's going to aggravate it, lots of running, change directions, basketball, things like that, even your pickleballs, if you have a reasonable brace, if you've still got a problem, actually using it for that one area just to minimize your risk. Because at the same time, especially if you've only done it recently, there's still that higher chance of redoing it. So having that little bit of extra support, even if it's psychological initially, and then working away from it whilst you then build the strength, and then in your time when you don't need to be wearing it, say at work when you're walking around, don't wear it and just keep building the strength.
Gotcha. Okay. So keep building the strength, and that would include building the muscles and the strength around that particular injured area.
So muscles kind of act a bit like scaffolding, basically. So if you think of a building that's semi-crumbling, and this kind of goes for the sense of arthritis as well, you have pressure there, and how do you support whatever it is from falling down? So you build all the structures around it and support it as much as possible. So a good example of this is with ACLs. So the ACL stops your shin bone, so your tibia, from moving forwards away from your femur, which is your thigh bone. Okay, so it provides a huge amount of stability in the leg. So once you've ruptured it, quite often the things that you hear people saying is, it feels really unstable to walk on, I just can't walk on it. And your hamstrings, which are the muscles at the back of your thigh, run down past your knee joint into the back of your tibia. And if you're really, really strong there, it also does that kind of movement of pulling your tibia back. So it gives that extra support for your ACL. So women are more common in doing their ACL than men for many reasons related to menstrual cycle, kind of your hips being wider than men, so your Q angle, so how far your difference between your hips and your knees are. All of those things massively, massively affect it. But also in men, when you're looking at the difference between your quadriceps strength and your hamstring strength, it's a 55-45 ratio. Okay. Whereas in women, it's 70 to 30. So a massive, massive difference. So suddenly you've got loads of power driving your leg forwards, but not so much to actually stop it from kind of reaching the end and carrying on going. So if you can build the muscles, it will really, really support the ligaments that they're kind of holding you together. So with the ankle, if you go to roll your ankle, if you've got really strong, robust muscles, they're going to hold your ankle in place. And actually what will happen is you will more likely pull a muscle than tear a ligament, which there's pros and cons of both, but generally you would rather pull a muscle quite severely rather than cause long-term structural damage. So it's a case of, if we can build that strength, kind of expose you to all of those different things that you will kind of experience during sports or activity, if we can expose you to those gradually, then when you do return to full function sport, return to play, then you should hopefully be as equipped as possible.
Got you. I like that. And I agree with that. Hopefully you will be as equipped as possible, or even better than you were before.
There's always the hope.
There's always a yes, thank you. Keeping hope. I have to keep hope alive. All right. Now I know that you do physiotherapy for the Cayman rugby teams and Gaelic teams.
Yep.
And that must be an amazing experience. I'm going to say that's got to be a bit of a demanding experience as well. Yeah, what's that like? Because there has to be a lot of injuries, especially when it comes to rugby. Kudos to you guys for playing rugby. It's a tough sport.
I think generally, I actually find that the injuries probably are more frequent with the Gaelic football.
No way.
I think it's that thing that if you get, and this is going to be a bit of a generalization, but if you get people that have, finished sports when they're in college, then they've gone on to become a lawyer, accountant, or something like that, and they've not done any sport for 10 years. They arrive on Ireland and they're told, the best social sport ever, Gaelic football, which granted it is a fantastic social and you will meet hundreds of people, but you may not be as athletic as you once were. And I think
that doesn't apply to me, but anyways, keep going.
So suddenly you've got people running around with the mindset that I'm still 18, 19, 20.
Right.
In a 33-year-old, 34-year-old's body, which unfortunately...
if you're not keeping up to that 33-year-old body, then...
sometimes things go a little bit awry, and
yes.
It's like a bull in a china shop. We go flying in and then try and do a stop or a turn, and the body doesn't quite listen to what your mind is telling it to do. Right. And things go a little bit sideways. So that's when we see quite often your ACLs, Achilles, your ankle sprains. One of the other random ones we get quite a lot with Gaelic football as well is dislocated fingers from stubbing your hand against the ball. So I imagine you probably have that in basketball as well to some extent. Apart from most people who play basketball have had more training, I guess.
I think I probably might have dislocated in flag football, not basketball, which is interesting.
Yeah,
definitely not pickleball.
Yeah, definitely. I'd hope it's not pickleball. Something's gone really wrong if you're suddenly stubbing your fingers in pickleball.
Yes.
And then from rugby, I think most people who have played rugby or play rugby on Ireland have played rugby before. So even if they're not as fit, their technique at things is pretty much bang on, and the intensity is a bit lower than potentially where you used to play. So even though your mind is saying, okay, I can do this, this and this. Actually, everybody's body is unfortunately screaming at us going, yeah, no, you're not 20 anymore. So it's a little bit of a slower pace generally. There are the exceptions. There are some phenomenal players on islands. With the rugby, we get more of the traumatic ones. So I was away with one of the things, the women's under 18s rugby team in Charlotte. Was that earlier this year? Yeah, earlier this year. And one of the kids on one of the opposing teams fractured their tibia and fibula. So the kind of lower part of their leg just sheared it, basically. So it almost looked like the knee joint was halfway between their knee and their ankle.
No more descriptions. I can't handle it.
So, it's then knowing what to do in those situations. Yeah. And I think that's one of the real good things, or, really positive things about Cayman Physiotherapy is we have quite a few sports traumatologists. So not just first aid qualified, but actually specialise in sports trauma. So if something major happens, someone breaks something, their shoulder gets dislocated, any of the weird and wonderfuls, we have the training to actually manage it on the pitch side, identify it and make sure, okay, do we need an ambulance for this? Obviously in the fractured tibia and fibula case, yes, we definitely need to send them off.
But the important thing is that support and being there for the athletes and having that expertise right then and there, because you're trying to keep everybody as healthy as possible to endure the game and hopefully win, right? Yeah,
exactly. And it's a case as well of hoping that, or ensuring that when you are waiting for an ambulance, in that immediate case, everything is done correctly. So there's no increased trauma or increased risk.
Right.
So it's a case of literally we're going to manage it from the moment it happens to the moment you then exit our care.
Gotcha.
And a lot of the stuff that we do related to the rugby as well is a lot of pre-strapping, concussion screening, physical assessments, looking at strength, and then rehab planning as well for return to sport. So there's quite a lot involved with it, but it's quite rewarding.
I might have to link you for some rehab planning for some return to sport. Andy, we can talk so much more, but we're a little bit late for our 8 a.m. news. So I've got to cut our interview short here.
No worries.
If you can drop a number or a way for people to contact you at Cayman Physiotherapy.
So our number is 949-8828, and you can call the reception at pretty much any time. One of the things that we are working on is getting online booking systems set up at the moment.
Wonderful.
Or you can just find us online and we'll be happy to help.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me on the buzz this morning. No
Cheers.
problem. All right, let's go to the 8 a.m. news.
Thank you, Kathy. And studio time by Foster's is 3 minutes past 8.
School starts here, right on, because nothing says endless possibilities like a fresh page.
At Foster's, find supplies needed to spark their talent, like notebooks, folders, pens, markers, all at prices that make the grade.
It's more than just paper and pencils. It's potential, creativity, and confidence.
So, load up their backpacks with the tools to dream big and write their own success story.
Check out our in-store school zones to make it easy to grab exactly what you need, or shop online at shop.fosters.ky.
Foster's, full of paper, pens, and possibilities.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. Cabinet is making moves to support the long-awaited beach renourishment project near the Marriott. During their August 6 meeting, Cabinet gave the green light for the Public Lands Commission to temporarily close a 6-foot right-of-way to the seashore for 90 days to, quote, facilitate beach renourishment near the Marriott. In June, the National Conservation Council discussed a project proposal which includes beach renourishment works and the construction of coastal defense structures in the hopes of restoring the eroded Marriott Resort Beach. Cabinet also approved 7 coastal work permits at this meeting. The corresponding permit for the Marriott works, an extension for a dock near Safe Haven, infilling of a cove offshore in West Bay off Northwest Point Road, a dock extension in Water Key, a new residential dock in Finger Key, a private dock in Little Cayman West, and the construction of a dock offshore Sandpoint in Northside. They also supported the Registered Land Amendment Bill being tabled in Parliament and issued drafting instructions to amend the Development and Planning Act, the Disability Solomon-Webster Act, and finalized the Administrative Appeals Tribunal Bill 2025. Cayman's leaders moved $2.3 million from the budget for Ministry of Education to that for land purchases. They also reallocated $380,000 from housing and assistance to the budget for financial assistance. You can find the full summary online at gov.ky.
I'll be swimming from Cayman Brac to Little Cayman to raise money for land preservation and conservation through the National Trust.
Local conservationist Connor Childs is smack in the middle of his 5-mile fundraising swim this morning, leaving Cayman Brac around sunrise. It should take him about 3.5 hours to 4 hours of continuous swimming to reach Point of Sand in Little Cayman, where a team of supporters are already standing by.
Anyone from here, living here, or even just a regular returning tourist can see how fast these islands are changing. From the excessive development that is constantly taking place where mangroves, wetlands, seagrass, and endemic iguana and parrot habitat used to be. However, we still have a lot of critically important habitat that is constantly under threat, including the largest contiguous mangrove wetland in the Caribbean. The protection of these vital ecosystems is something that has been discussed for generations, and yet there's been absolutely no slowing of development.
Benefactor, the National Trust, encourages you to join in empowering a young Caymanian who's raising both funds and awareness to support valuable and special places in nature forever.
Through this swim, I'm hoping to raise money for the Land Preservation Fund, so that they're able to buy and therefore protect vital ecosystems for generations to come. By protecting our native lands, we are protecting our own culture and heritage. We will be able to show our children mangroves, seagrass, and forests instead of showing where it used to be in the place of high-rise condominiums that the average Caymanian can't even afford.
There's still time to contribute, and 100% of your funds will go directly to the National Trust's Land Reserve Fund to protect the Cayman environment. For more information, head to nationaltrust.org.ky. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News. Israel's far-right finance minister Bezalel Smotrich says his approval of plans to build more than 3,000 homes in a West Bank settlement will bury the idea of a Palestinian state. He told reporters that the Ma'ale Adumim scheme, which revives a project frozen for over a decade due to international opposition, has the backing of Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. At their talks in London, the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky agreed that tomorrow's US-Russia summit presents a viable chance to make progress in ending the war in Ukraine, so long as President Putin can prove he's serious about peace. The medical charity MSF says Sudan's civil war has fueled the country's worst cholera outbreak in many years, with more than 2,400 people dying in the past 12 months. Firefighters in western Greece say they've gained ground against a wildfire outside the third largest city of Patras. The US government says it has approved an arms deal with Nigeria worth almost $350 million. The State Department says the package includes more than 1,000 air-dropped bombs. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Craving something bold, juicy, and packed with flavor? Introducing KFC's new crispy barbecue sandwich served on a soft, buttery brioche bun. That's 100% KFC premium chicken breast, perfectly crispy, deliciously smoky with crispy onions, cheddar cheese, and barbecue sauce. Just the right amount of messy in the best way possible. Stacked with layers of bold KFC flavor, this sandwich is your new obsession. But hurry, it's only at KFC for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Get yours today at any of the 3 KFC locations on island. KFC, finger licking good, just got bolder.
Hey man, it's time to move. Lace up those sneakers and join the Alzheimer's and Dementia Association of the Cayman Islands on Sunday, September 7th at Cayman Bay for the World Walks Against Dementia 2025 5K Run Walk. Be part of something big, a global movement spanning 61 countries, and the walk and run together to raise awareness and support for people living with dementia, their families, and caregivers. One day, one cause, one powerful step at a time. Register now at Race Caribbean or download the form at adacayman.ky. Adults are $25 and children 17 and under or $10. Let's walk for those who can't. Let's walk for change. Let's walk against dementia. ADACI. Together, we're making a difference.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 85 degrees. Relative humidity is 84%. The barometric pressure is 29.99 inches and rising. The wind is out of the southeast at 2 knots. Overnight low temperature was 82 degrees. Synopses indicate the chance of some showers and isolated thunder increases as the day progresses due to the passage of a tropical wave. In addition, light winds and slight seas are expected over the next 24 hours. Radar imagery shows showers to the east of the Cayman area moving to the west. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida continues to issue advisories on Tropical Storm Erin. This system poses no immediate threat to the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands National Weather Service will continue to monitor this system for further development. Now, the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times, with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder, and temperatures will be in the low 90s. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Tonight, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder for tonight, and temperatures falling to the low 80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 knots or less, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. High tide will be this afternoon at 1:48, with a low tide tonight at 7:49. The sun will set this evening at 6:52 and will rise tomorrow morning at 7 minutes after 6. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Friday evening. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. You should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC has given us some trouble. Sorry folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on!
We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Britcay. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.ky or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a second location in Governor's Square. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
Biggest variety in the morning. RC Fusion.
Following the 10 a.m. news headline.
Sponsored in part by TCE Paint Shop, located in Georgetown at 27 Godfrey Nixon Way.
RC Fusion. RC Fusion.
Brought to you by My Kinda Cleaners. They offer the best rates on island for cleaning services. Call or WhatsApp My Kinda Cleaners at 326-3379.
RC Fusion.
Fresh, local, and full of flavor. Farm, the Farmers and Artisans Market, proud sponsors of RC Fusion.
RC Fusion.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look at what's happening on the roads. Looks like a crawler-thon on Cool Road heading to Georgetown. Expect some delays. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, steady but flowing traffic continuing on to Huldah Avenue. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing at a moderate pace in both directions. Coming from the West Bay four-way stop, traffic is flowing at a good pace. Edward Street flowing nicely. As we look to Sheridan Road, moderate flow of traffic in both directions. On the West Bay Road and for the Ritz, traffic is flowing at a good pace. And as we look to Shamrock Road and further up on Shamrock Road and Rex Creighton Boulevard, flowing moderately. And further down, a little different story as traffic is steady. As you approach the Linford Pearson Highway, steady traffic, and traffic also steady coming off of Agnes Way. Expect some delays. If you see the accidents or incidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6990. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
There's something new at Subway. Indulge your taste buds with our new barbecue pork rib sandwich tender. Smoky pork ribs smothered in sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, built just the way you like it. It's bold, rich, and seriously satisfying. But hurry, it's here for a limited time only. Order now on the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick in-store pickup, or get it delivered with Bento or Let's Eat. The all-new barbecue pork rib sandwich, only at Subway. Subway, eat fresh.
Yummy.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
There's nothing more important than your health, and seeking expert healthcare with physicians you can trust is what you deserve. UHealth, the University of Miami Health System, offers peace of mind to you and your family with a first-class experience. Our patient coordinators assist with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. As South Florida's only academic-based health system, UHealth offers cutting-edge treatment, compassionate care, and life-changing results just a flight away. Learn more at umiamihealth.org/international.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and I've got some police with me in the studio right now. You should all be used to this by now because every month we do have a chat with the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, and we are talking with the Traffic and Roads Policing Unit. Everybody's favorite. What can I say? Everybody's favorite as long as we don't have no roadblocks during morning rush hour. I'm going to say that. So good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to The Buzz. It's great to have you on the show. So my guests today, for our listeners, we have Inspector Andrey Tahal and Sergeant Kevin Gibson from the RCIPS. How are you doing today?
Good morning.
I'm good, all right. Good morning to you all.
Good morning, good morning. We had some laughs right before the segment started, so got to know each other a little bit. And tell me, so you're both in the Traffic and Roads Policing Unit. Give me just a brief summary of what your role is. What do you do out there on the streets for us in traffic?
Well, I'm the inspector and also in charge of the department. So mostly I oversee all the administration and daily operations. My colleague here, he also works as a sergeant on the team, so he can say much more of what he does.
So he's on the road.
Partly office, partly office, partly
yes.
road. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sergeant Gibson.
Yeah, so my daily tasking, once my inspector details me, I look at my operational mandate for the day. So I look at how many officers I have on duty, and I would deploy them accordingly as the infrastructure would ask for. If there are like major accidents, I would have officers go to those specific locations, and all as it goes. I just work as it comes in. It's not a plan, I would say. It's not as you can come and say it's planned, this what is going to happen today.
Right.
You just have to go with what faces us daily.
Okay. And sometimes that can be an exciting thing, different. If you have the same thing every day, that can get a little mundane, so.
Yeah, there's some task thing that we usually work with. So every day we plan. But, some days you come into work, the plan changes.
Exactly, yeah, because of what the situation
It's not like we come to work and we don't know what we want to do. We plan what we want to do, and information is disseminated to the team, and not just to the sergeants and say, to yourself. It's a very small team. So the information is disseminated to them, because sometimes you find that if the sergeant's not on duty, the officers then pick up the tasking. So instead of just sending it to the sergeant, I will send it to the whole unit, and everybody knows exactly what they need to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what are the operations that you're working on right now?
Right now, we got sidebar this morning because of an arrest that happened early this morning.
What happened this morning? Okay, forget what operations are happening. What happened this morning?
It wasn't nothing to do with traffic. So,
okay.
So, sooner or later you'll get the news.
No, man, you got to give us the news. You cannot come on Radio Cayman and say something happened and then not tell us and say you'll get the news.
Yeah, we have to do some. There's some. I didn't get the full story of it, but our officers were deployed. Was deployed to the Marine base to collect some prisoners. So.
Okay.
They're up there doing prisoner transport. So I'm not going to say too much because I don't know much. And all I know, when I came in, we need to go to have prisoners to transport. So
an incident might have happened.
Which may have involved the Marine unit. I can't confirm.
Okay. Okay, gotcha so far. All right.
So that take away from the demand that we would have said we wanted to do with this morning.
With the traffic-related things. Gotcha. Oh, it's understandable. It's how it happens. Okay, so now we can talk about the operation. The latest operation that you have going on?
Well, usually every time the officer comes in, there's different locations, different times, different operations goes on. Like we do speeding enforcement, or we do just vehicle checks and all those kind of things, but the different locations. Remember now, we as a traffic and we police the whole of Grand Cayman. So you find that we have offices in the Eastern Districts and we have offices in Georgetown, and then sometimes we have to move ourselves around the West Bay and all those things. So every day we comes in, different shifts, different teams, everybody got a different way how they do things, but we still have the same outcome because we all are heading to one goal. We so show our presence on the road and with traffic enforcement and education.
Okay. Traffic enforcement and education.
Yeah. Not everybody we prosecute.
Okay.
We educate them at times.
At times.
Oh, I feel like the prosecution is a bit of an education as well, because, boy, that's a lesson that you don't want to go through again, right?
It's not all the time you can ticket your way out of the problem. Sometimes people just need to be educated.
I tried to charm myself out of the problem. Yes.
No, you have to find yourself in a position where you have been stopped and you don't know, I didn't know that was something. Yeah. But sometimes we find ourselves where we stop people and we speak to them and like, I didn't know, and then we try to explain, okay, this is...
Inspector Tahal, did you just give us a tip? Did you? Did
you
really just say if I get stopped by a police officer, it might help? If I didn't know, officer, that might help me not get...
No, you're not going to get yourself into a speeding ticket. You're not going to get there without the speed limit because the signs are posted everywhere.
Yeah, the signs are posted, but aren't the speed guns? They can vary. Like there can be little variants. Can't you get away with about a 9 mile different variance?
Really, not supposed to be driving more than 5 miles per hour the speed limit. I mean, when you go for your driving test, you know they tell you you got to keep it not below the speed limit by 5 or not above by 5. So we're expecting people to do so. One of the things why that sometimes comes into effect is that there sometimes be I'm not a mechanic or engineer out there, but some people they make the leeway for if it's a working.
The speedometer, So there could be little variances. That's what I'm saying. So I try to keep it within 10. That's my buy no move on. Don't give bad advice, Kathy.
You'll get education.
I will get the education.
You're being educated right 5 miles.
All right. So we're going to skip the prosecution with me. I'll get the education first.
You can't go around there.
I got it. I understand. Okay, so I know that you did Operation Clyro.
Yeah.
Correct. Can you tell us what this operation was about?
Let me see if I can put this in a nutshell. Okay. There was a national road safety strategy, right, where we were heading operation strategy, which is with NRSS, and this is national road safety
strategy.
Yeah, and there's a campaign going on, a big one, yeah.
Yes.
So one of the things that came out of that was for Safe Road, Safe Cayman, and the road to zero. All right. So the commissioner was tasked of implementing proactive patrols in a large scale on every quarterly. So we've been doing this from 2023. We had a very good success with it. It helps. And it wasn't something that we hide from members of the public. Whenever we would put Operation Clyro on, we would send out media releases to inform them that Operation Clyro is on. And one of the things with Operation Clyro is not just to prosecute people sometimes. We don't think that we can prosecute ourselves out of the problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes, as I mentioned, education and making people aware of certain things. But what we have learned is that we have a lot of problems when it comes to speeding, driving under the influence, people with limited driving skills. I mean, like, some people are coming to the island with license and they're not,
or from the country that they might be coming from, the driving, I don't even want to say laws because it seems that there is no laws. The driving behavior there is very different compared to here, and they bring those same behaviors here.
Yeah.
It's a very dangerous thing.
Correct. Correct. You got it. And the inconsiderate driving and the distractive driving. Because a lot of people
being is that us on our phones,
or they're not paying attention. Some people, they come into work, they're drinking or having
on, eating
on their makeup.
Yes, I don't know why. Sergeant Gibson just looked at me away like, I know I can tell you're the one that I do not. I live a minute away, so I don't have to worry about that. But it is I know women who do that. I'm like, how do you do this?
They're so talented.
I don't get it.
We don't recommend it.
I don't recommend it either. Yeah.
So those are the kind of things that we deal with, and that's what we do. So, but its focus is not limited to that only, but those are the major ones, the main causes of accidents, right? Because we find that people are not using the indicators.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're taking yes, keep going.
Right? And there's sometimes where people are using the lanes or the roundabout incorrectly. So that's some of the problems, a lot of problems, the contributing factors.
So when did Operation Clyro start, and is it still ongoing?
It started in 23rd of June.
Oh, you mean for this year?
For this year.
Yeah, it started. We already done one phase for this year. What happened? We were supposed to be on our third phase now, but we due to some other stuff that we were doing at the year commence, has taken away from that.
Right.
So we now did our first sales in July, and we're planning to do one next month again.
Okay.
In September, and then we try to do one just before
Christmas
holiday.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So when the operation takes place, what are we seeing from the police? Are we just seeing an increased presence of police,
yes.
and then more stoppages by the police, more checkpoints?
Yeah, more VCPs. Yes.
Yeah, more checkpoints, more VCPs. You see us on the road.
What is VCP stand for?
Vehicle checkpoints.
Vehicle checkpoints. Okay, gotcha. All right, we're going to go to a commercial break right now. When we come back, we'll get into a little bit more details about Operation Clyro and about other things going on with the Traffic and Roads Policing Unit.
Summer's heating up and the water's calling. From cruising the coast in your boat to riding Yamaha Wave Runners, Automotive Art Cayman will get you ready. We offer expert servicing by Yamaha certified staff, as well as engine repairs, performance upgrades, engine and electrical installation, and more. Need it tuned, cleaned, repaired, or race ready? We'll keep you running smooth, whether you're riding waves or racing them. Trust Automotive Art for expert service and upgrades. Find us on Shedden Road and follow us at Auto RKY on Instagram and Automotive Art Cayman on Facebook.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Brought to you by UHealth International, University of Miami Health System. International patients go to UHealth International for consultations with renowned physicians, advanced treatment technologies, leading-edge medical therapies, and state-of-the-art surgical procedures. Whatever your particular reason for going to UHealth International, you will receive customized medical care delivered within a compassionate, multicultural setting. The care you need when you need it.
Start. Stop. That's how long it takes to react to a child crossing the street. How long would it take you to apply the brakes? How long would it take the parents to forgive you? How long would it take you to forgive yourself? Slow down. Save a life. Not only theirs, but your own. Texting, speeding, and ignoring safety rules can cost lives. Visit gov.ky/road safety to learn more and help keep our roads safe.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and I have with me from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, we have Inspector Andrey Tahal and Sergeant Kevin Gibson, and they are both from the Traffic and Roads Policing Unit. We were just talking about Operation Clyro, which is, it's currently ongoing? It's still going on? No, it ended.
Ended.
Ended. Okay. All right. But there might be another phase coming for it.
Yes.
Yes, that's what Inspector Tahal said. Now, I want to know if you have any trends or results from Operation Clyro, any kind of data or insights that you can share with us.
Sure, yes. During the Operation Clyro, 23rd of June to the 8th of July, during that time we had 156 motor vehicle collisions reported.
156?
156.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is. It is.
Yeah, we're averaging almost 70 accidents per week.
Per week.
How, I know I'm kind of deviating from the question, but is that in comparison to last year? Is that more or less?
No. It's about a 6% increase from last year.
Yeah.
So we're seeing more
collisions this year.
Wow. I thought it was a little quieter, so I'm a little surprised. It's okay. 6% increase, all right.
8 individuals were arrested on suspicion of DUI, that's driving under the influence.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I had 111 citations were issued for speeding.
Okay.
Yes.
111 citations is pretty good for speeding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
30 citations issued for mobile phone usage
Ooh.
while operating a motor vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah. we advise persons to at least try to get a Bluetooth device. They're cheap. Yeah, Amazon.
Right. They are, yeah. It is very expensive. How are you catching people with mobile devices? Are you seeing the phone in their hands, or okay, so that's how it is.
Yeah.
So if it's in their lap or something, you're not seeing that. But these are people actually with their phone
in their hand.
Okay.
Some have it in their hand holding.
Right.
And having a conversation.
Okay. They've got to be so distracted if they don't even see the police right there.
Exactly.
Because I know I'd be slowing it down 20 miles when I see you guys. I'm joking. I don't speed. Okay.
Going on, we had 120 citations issued to drivers operating unlicensed vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
The license on the vehicle expired and person still operating the vehicle.
I've been hit by one of those, so yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Thank you for taking care of those people. They are a nuisance.
Then we had 103 citations issued for the use of disapproved tint. The tint on the windscreen.
Oh, that's
It's ridiculous. Yes.
That's a bit of an outdated law, guys. But okay. The tint thing, all right, which I don't agree with at all, but okay. All right. Guess we have to make our numbers somehow.
And then the operation continue on with the DVL personnel from the DVDL.
Mm-hmm.
80 citations were issued.
What do you mean? What operation with the DVDL?
They work alongside with the officers for the Operation Clyro.
Okay.
We had like a day of action with them.
Yeah.
So we had a joint, because usually when we do operations, we try to involve our partners, which DVDL is one of them, and Public Transportation Board. Unfortunately, this time when we put it on, we were unable to line up at the same time with our, because it was just something that we look at and we said, okay, we need to get it on. So we kind of leave our public transportation partners out on that one, but the one that we are setting up in September, we're looking to include them in it.
What was your one day of action with the DVDL? What did that consist of? What does the DVL do?
Basically, we go out there because they're the guys that look at the vehicles and all that.
They're inspecting.
The inspection and all that. And you find that a lot of times when we go on the road, there's a lot of vehicles that may be on the road, haven't been inspected for a while. And then there's vehicles that also on the road that have been inspected, but never been inspected by DVDL.
Right, but there's licensed mechanics that are authorized to...
So we are finding a lot of vehicles on the road, especially some of the heavy equipment, like trucks and those things on the road, are not reaching the standard that is expected.
Okay.
So in order to get more on the road to deal with these, that's why we use the DVDL people from there. So with a joint operation with them, they would do most of the stops and inspection, and they along with the other officers, and then we do the enforcement part of it.
Okay.
So if anybody is found in breach of an offense, we then deal with that part of it.
And I think there might be a disconnect for me in understanding this. So because if the operator of the heavy equipment, the truck or vehicle is going to the DVDL to get their car inspected and hopefully licensed, they're already trying to do the right thing and go through, right? So I don't understand what the DVDL is looking to see that customer is not doing correctly.
It's not really, we're not really targeting the trucks alone. We target every other vehicles on the road.
Right.
So it's a different lines of things like tint.
Okay.
We also like tint. We have like using a vehicle which is not supposed to be registered. It's not registered. We're looking at the other stuff. So it's not really like strictly like we're going out there looking at people.
Targeting.
Right.
But if a vehicle comes through, we look at it and then. I mean, every day a vehicle go on the road, something might happen.
So you guys will be there on location at the DVDL?
Yes, we work alongside.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So you guys are the ones doing that, more so looking for those things at their location. Okay, got it. And in September, I had interrupted you when you were speaking, but in September you said with the public transport unit you were trying to get them more involved.
And they're mostly to do with the minibuses,
public
transportation. So they comes around with us also. So if they was to pass through, they would just do a little check on it, make sure that it it have everything that it's supposed to have and following the rules and regulations.
Okay.
To them.
Okay, like it. I'd like to talk about their driving behavior sometimes too, but that's a different conversation. Is there any other data that you would like to share about the Operation Clyro? Wasn't sure.
No,
more information.
what I can add on to for Sergeant Gibson that what he got there there was nearly 700 traffic tickets issued in July alone.
That's just in July, okay.
21 DUI arrests in July also. This is some information that was given to me, and it was 307 motor vehicle accidents in July.
Okay.
So
that's a lot.
And most of those MVAs were along the Esley-Tibbetts Highway. Most of the reported collisions. Yes, and the North Side Road being the highest repeat location.
North Song Road, not North Side.
Sorry, North Song Road. That's the A.L. Thompson.
Interesting. Okay, has that changed? Because I thought it was more that, I thought it was that kind of spots Newlands bypass there, that road down there.
No, the hotspot is
not
right
the
there.
bypass, the straightway.
Yeah, the hotspot for most accidents is right there, Esley-Tibbetts, North Song Road.
Yeah.
That roundabout there.
That roundabout.
Okay. I want to, and I was going to ask this at the very beginning for an update before we got into this part of the convo, but I just want to pivot a little for a second here. There was a little bit of news that came out yesterday regarding a collision that happened with a cyclist. I think it was around Easter. Is there any sort of update that you can give us or clarify for some of the information that was put out yesterday in regards to the charges for the man who hit the cyclist and caused the fatality?
Well, from the information I have, it's the matter is in front of court. What I can say to you is that the collision part of the investigation is still ongoing. The only part that went to court was the summary offense for the which was involved in the collision. But the investigation into the collision of the causing that is still ongoing. It's not been put forward yet.
Because I think some people are confused about two different charges.
Yes, the only charge that was put forward was the one for the DUI.
For the DUI, okay. But because the traffic part still had to be investigated.
It's still ongoing.
Still ongoing.
Okay, so those charges would still be laid once that investigation is
complete.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So hopefully that answers some people's questions and clarifies any of the information that is out there. Okay, all right. So we can either get into the next part of it or we can go to a commercial break right now. And I think I'm going to take us to a commercial break right now.
Okay.
All right, let's go there first.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
At Attention families, the countdown to school begins now, and the Pursuit of Excellence Foundation presents the annual Ready, Set, Learn Back to School event. Join us on Saturday, August 23rd in Grand Cayman at the Lion Center at 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and Sunday, August 24th in Cayman Brac at the Ashton Rutty Center, also at 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, as we give back to students across the Cayman Islands with free school supplies, resources, light refreshments, games, surprises, and a whole lot of encouragement for the year ahead. It's more than a giveaway, it's a celebration of our future. Big thanks to our sponsors and volunteers for making this possible. Ready, set, learn, because every child deserves a strong start.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm Kathy Miller. I have in studio with me from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, we have Inspector Andrey Tahal and Sergeant Kevin Gibson from the Traffic and Roads Policing Unit. We just got a bit of an update on some news with one fatal collision that had happened around Easter, and there was another fatal collision, I almost want to say it was around the same time, East End around, not East End, somewhere around there.
Health City.
But anyways, is that not East End?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not around the same time.
Oh, not around the same time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, my time. Yes, I understand. My time or my mind likes to shrink time a lot, and I don't understand things passing so fast.
Yeah.
So yeah. So there was another fatal collision there. There's an update. I understand. So I think you can give that to us.
Yes, that was last year fatality in by Health City.
Okay. Not Easter.
Yeah, that gentleman was formally charged yesterday for that offense. So he'll be appearing before the court next month.
And it was it the pedestrian that was hit?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the person that was hit him was formally charged?
Yes.
What were the charges?
Causing death by dangerous driving.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so those charges were laid
and
yesterday.
DUI.
And DUI.
Yes.
Okay.
So he'll be appearing before the court next month.
Okay. Why did it take a year for those charges?
So we have to wait on the analysis reports, we have to wait upon the reconstruction report and the vehicle examiner reports. So those takes a while to be prepared from that end.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for the person that was charged, what happens to that person in the meantime? Are they jailed? Are they free to live amongst us in society, or
just continue their daily activities until they appear before the court?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
When are the circumstances that somebody is arrested and goes to jail and stays there before they have to appear? What kind of circumstances would I would hope there's some serious circumstances that would say, hey, there's straight going to jail for you. There's no getting out right now.
In the traffic world, we really don't have. Most times when people are arrested before they get bailed, we try to interview them and do all the necessary before they get bailed. So those are one of the times when you might find that a person may stay in custody for the police in the traffic department. In other parts of the organization, there's other offenses that may. You find that an officer may deal with something and they might say, you know what, I need this person, and they have to put out the supporting documents and all that to really to show that this person might be committing offense or maybe be a hindrance to the society while out on bail. So those are different.
Okay.
But in the traffic department, we haven't, from my knowledge going back, I can't recall anyone going straight to prison or being asked to go straight in front of the court to go.
Okay.
Yeah, and to wait until they.
It's such an interesting way how the system is set up, but that's something that neither of us control. So, to move from that, there has been some fatal collisions, especially lately in the past couple of weeks, and our community has really been mourning those losses. So touching on that, what preventative measure would you like the public to most embrace right now? When it comes to our own driving, our own road safety, what preventative measure, if there could only be one, what would you want people to take up right now?
Well, one of the main things that you see that cause a lot of serious accidents a lot of times is speeding and driving under the influence.
Driving under influence.
And there's a lot of times, I think, from my taking is that when people sometimes they find people driving over the speed limit, it's sometimes because they maybe need to get somewhere, or they just the habits of just wanting to drive fast. I always advise people, if you need to get somewhere, always leave on time so you can arrive on time. You gotta cater that if something was to happen on the road and cause or a diversion, you will still have enough time to get to where you're going. But you don't want to leave at a time when you know that you're not going to make it there and just try to
make up time.
And then you find that a lot of people, when they're driving, we got different merging lanes, and you can see on the road. And when people are just going to put on the indicator and just think that, oh, you must let them in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of accidents happen like that too, because sometimes the person who is just moving forward, the same time the person is coming in with and it's indicating.
Right.
I
think we got a call coming in. Pretty sure we got a call coming in. Yes. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to alert for the call coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. That's your one preventative. What about you, Sergeant Gibson? Do you have a preventative?
Yes. Distracted driving. Cell phones.
Okay.
We've seen a number of persons using their cell phones who was operating the motor vehicle. Yeah.
I think the distracted driving comes with and also the inconsiderate driving, because a lot of people don't take into consideration other people on the road. They're just feeling that when they're on the road, they
own the road.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I guess personally, I can get that a little tiny bit.
And people are taking chances when they're like. I saw one video the other day of a person, and most of these videos that we get, we try to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
I believe we do have the WhatsApp caller, so we'll take the WhatsApp call right now. Good morning. Thank you for calling the Buzz.
Yeah, good morning, Kathy.
How are you doing?
Okay. Good morning to police officers this morning.
Hey, morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, concerning traffic and the accidents, it's really getting terrible now. And Cayman is 24 miles long, so I don't see why the government aren't able to have at least 14 traffic police cars on the road at all times. Especially during the weekend. From Friday to Sunday, a lot of people be drinking and driving. And then having these cars on the road all the time, or even parked on the side of the road to let people see you all at all times. Like, say, for instance, having a traffic police car parked every 2 miles on the road. When people get used to seeing that, they'll remember there are police on the road, and they won't attempt to drink and drive, or they won't attempt to speed. But if they don't see any police, and they get used to not seeing any police, then they're just going to continue doing any bad habits that they usually do. So the government should be able to afford to hire more police officers in the traffic department, because you all will be doing the individuals a favor by saving their lives from being killed in an accident. You all will be doing their families a favor, saving their lives from being killed in an accident. And then when it comes to police officers chasing cars, that should not be allowed. Once a police officer gets the description of a car, especially their license plate, then the helicopter should be used, because chasing cars can cause other individuals who are innocent to be killed or seriously injured also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller, for your comments there. Did you guys want to respond to that at all?
His comment is taken and noted. As we know, when we had the the statistics aren't released by the Commissioner of Police. We are short everywhere.
Yeah, we are.
The traffic department is 35% below its normal staffing level, like it's supposed to be, for the past couple of years. So it's something that we're aware of and we're working towards. But there's a lot of factors into that which I can't comment on.
Right.
Yeah. But
the commissioner did say the same thing when he was on with me a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But thanks for the information that he provided and the output there. And we agree. If we have more police visibility on the road, things will change.
I agree.
Be a deterrent.
I agree with that. Yeah, it is a deterrent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's something that we all want. It's not we all want better because we got to remember we all use the road. We all have families, and when things like happen, it affects everyone. It's a very small community.
It is,
right, and it affects everyone, even us as police officers. Because sometimes
I would be hard on police at times. Absolutely, Jody can tell you that. And then in the conversations that we've had and understanding, wow, the police really are down in numbers. It is in the reports. The commissioner said it. There has been a budget approved to help supplement the police force. But what's hard, what people need to understand is our population is increasing a whole lot, but not our ways of protecting the island, which starts with our police force here.
Correct.
So people need to understand that our population is growing, but not our police enforcement. So so more things are going to happen, and we need to be a little bit more understanding with the police. I have another comment that came in from listeners. I have a couple comments actually. So this one says, "Good morning. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Can you ask our guests what is their definition of aggregated manslaughter and vehicular homicide, and how they deal with it if they occur, especially people under the influence?" It's coming from a listener.
Yeah, I think the last thing we sent out the information is the vehicle manslaughter, because it's what mostly over the charges boil down to is causing death by either dangerous driving or causing death by driving under the influence, or it depends on what the outcome when we do the investigation, how that goes.
Right.
So it's like so you use the vehicle and you kill someone. That's why the vehicle manslaughter came in.
Gotcha.
It just
Okay. Got another comment here. Kathy, please stop interrogating the officers about things that are sub judice. Guys, do you feel like I'm interrogating you?
No comment.
Sergeant Gibson is loving it. I know that much.
The thing is, I think it's not really tormenting. That's the way you want to know things. You're trying to get on the work, and we're trying to. We can't say much, but we try to provide as much as we can.
Exactly. Yeah, I know I'm not interrogating you. You don't want to hear when I'm interrogating somebody. You should listen to the K-Mass interview. All right, so the person went on to say, Kathy, there's only when a person is arrested on suspicion of murder that they stay locked up until they are charged, right? Yeah. Also, if the person has a high probability as a flight risk or danger of reoffending while on bail. Yes, thank you for the comments. I appreciate them. All right, so those are a couple of the comments that have come in from our listeners.
Okay, thanks.
There was also something that I saw the other day about an incident that happened. It was a road rage incident. Now, I understand road rage. Not to the extent that a man came out of his car and, from what I had seen, I think from what most of us had seen out there, to me it was atrocious behavior on, to me, what is a young child. So not a young child, but a young adult. I understand that charges were brought against both individuals. Can you speak on that at all? Can you clarify anything there?
I don't have that information right.
I don't have that.
You guys don't have information on that, okay? But you know the incident.
I'm aware of the incident, but I never I'm not aware how the outcome of it was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a couple of almost a year ago, was it?
Well, so was the I don't know if it was a year. Don't ask me about the time. Now I'm getting the timing wrong, right?
Yeah.
So
I think I'm aware of the incident that was off. I
think it was a year ago, but yeah. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I understand that recently charges were made for both, and people are upset about the charges towards the young adults.
Yeah, maybe it's something that we can get back to you with.
I hope so, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully. Or hopefully somebody from News can reach out to police and get some more information.
Sure.
And we can go from there. We got to wrap up our segment, so if there's anything you want to let people know in concerns to when it comes to road safety, traffic issues, let us know.
Yes. If you know you're going to drink, get a designated driver, please. This is the weekend coming up. We know it's pay week coming up as well. Please, don't drink and drive.
100% agree.
Yeah, and slow down.
Yeah, absolutely. We all have somebody we can call and depend on. Call me. If you know me, call me. I will drive you home. All right? Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
And thank you.
I look forward to having you back on a second interrogation. And
Sure.
We'll,
there's no problem with that.
No, it would just be a nice conversation between us. All right, we're going to go to the 9 a.m. headline news. And after that, we've got our last segment of the show. And then I'm quite excited for that segment because it's going to be with our new reigning Miss Universe Cayman Islands.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Little Cayman's Iguana Bigana program is going strong with 6 greenies removed just this week. So far, there have been 37 total removals of the invasive species in Little Cayman since the program started. The National Trust District Committee there reminds you to report any green iguana sightings in Little Cayman by WhatsApping 916-5849. Make sure to include a photo. In international news, Keir Starmer says Vladimir Putin must, quote, prove he is serious about peace when he meets Donald Trump for a highly anticipated meeting tomorrow. The UK Prime Minister's remarks come following a meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at Downing Street. Their sit-down was, quote, an important show of unity and comes a day before Putin and Trump are heading to Alaska. Ahead of their own meeting, Putin praised Donald Trump's, quote, sincere efforts to end the Ukraine war, with the Kremlin saying the leaders will discuss the situation in, quote, one-on-one talks. President Trump has said there will be, quote, very severe consequences if Putin does not agree to end the fighting after he spoke with European leaders. On the front line, Russia says Ukraine fired dozens of drones at southern cities overnight, while Ukraine says one person has died in strikes in Kharkiv. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman Benzarama raffle is back. kicking off Friday, August 15th at the Mango Tree. Get your tickets now to win the brand new 2025 Mercedes-Benz C200. This is your chance to own your very own precision luxury Mercedes. The peak in innovation, luxury, and safety. Join the launch party from 4 p.m. at the Mango Tree, Friday the 15th. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, proudly serving the community for over 50 years.
For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. is brought to you by The Light Room. Tired of being unwell and struggling to find the energy and vitality to live the life you desire? Come get recharged from inside out at The Light Room. Our non-invasive, holistic energy enhancement system detoxifies and energizes the body, enabling self-healing and balance. Book online at www.thelightroom.ky or call 938-HEAL, 38 Pasadora Place, GT.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. And as I was saying, I'm very excited in this segment to be welcoming our new Miss Universe Cayman Islands, Miss Tahiti Seymour. Not just Miss Tahiti Seymour. Also, good morning. And I'd like to also welcome the director for Miss Cayman Islands Universe, Miss Derri Lee.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is my first time on The Buzz.
And well, but not with me, right? We've been on the show before together, but I think Talk Today.
I've been talked today, but not The Buzz. Yeah.
Well, welcome to The Buzz.
Thanks for having us.
Great to have you on. I wish I had all the contestants on when we were doing the rounds, but I think scheduling didn't work out. So very happy to have you on now.
Thank you.
So I'm a big supporter of Miss Universe Cayman Islands. Yes. I love the pageant. I think it's a great thing.
Yes.
So Reagan might have been my favorite.
Oh.
So, but Miss Tahiti.
Yeah. Listen, she left an impression in our hearts.
Yes.
She's amazing.
I love Reagan. I've loved meeting Reagan, but
we have another
just starting to meet you now, so I don't know you.
Nice to meet you. I'm happy. I'm here to introduce myself a little bit.
Yes.
Better.
Tell us about you. Tell us who you are, because you have an amazing. You're such a young lady still, and you have an amazing, I'm going to say, like a resume behind you so far.
Thank you. I mean, I'm feeling crowned and Cayman proud,
Yeah,
as the flyer says, for my event I'm hosting this Saturday, with the whole community is invited, and especially Town to celebrate. So, I mean, from the moment I was crowned, I just felt, am I even on this stage right now? I feel like I'm in Thailand right now. That's where my head is at right now.
Is that where the Miss Universe pageant is in Thailand this year?
In Thailand on the 20th of November.
I love that your head's there already.
Yeah.
You're manifesting.
I am a lot.
Visualization. Mm-hmm. It means a lot. Yes. All right. So I think one of the things that I'd read about you, which totally impressed me, was, well, you studied, was it international relations?
Politics and international relations.
So I'm going to say, I want to attribute that a little bit to your dad. I think he might have had a bit of an influence on that.
Definitely. I mean, I come from a family of policymakers, and my grandaunt Lucille Seymour, she's also a force. I mean, she just recently graduated with her PhD in philosophy. I mean, it's definitely, it runs in the family.
It does.
Yeah.
Very much so. And I think I told you right before our interview started was that I was really impressed that you were learning Mandarin. That's a language that is so hard to learn, but I think one of the most important languages when it comes to business and communications in our future, right now and in our future.
Definitely. We can see in just online trends how they lead, the economic trends in the world, and as well as with business. So with my family being in Hong Kong, it was very pertinent that I start studying from high school at ab initio level. And even before that, I just took up Japanese for a year. My mom, she just invested in me, so graciously, and got me a traditional Japanese book to practice in, the hiragana, katakana, and kanji. I really enjoy it.
That's awesome. And your mom has invested in you, and
Yes.
it's paid off, I would say,
Yeah.
for sure. But it also shows a really great relationship, which
Yes.
I think is important to show, and I love to see it.
Thank
I
you.
absolutely love to see it. So it's a
Me
beautiful
too.
thing. So pageant was Saturday night.
Yes.
Tell me all about that night. How did it go for you? How did you wake up that day? What were your thoughts and feelings from the moment you woke up?
I'll share that I actually didn't go to bed until 1:30 in the morning the previous night or morning. And then I woke up at 5 in the morning to practice for 3 hours. I wanted to stick every landing as best as I could because I've never done this before. I've never been in dance. So I wanted to feel that empowerment throughout my body and get it right. But backstage, I kind of just, without sounding bad, I wanted to pretend that nobody was there. And I put my headphones in. I listened to Commander by Kelly Rowland. Okay. And I was just dancing around in my own world, honestly.
Okay, awesome. I love it. Yeah. And you were... you won a couple different awards that night. And
yes.
I think so. I watched the bit of the finals part and the question and answer segment, right? Which is always the one that we're all holding our breath on, right? Yes, because everything else is just the presentation per se, right? But then the actual public speaking comes out during that question and answer part, which it can really make or break really somebody in a pageant in a sense, right? So I watched those parts, and I think it was a really close race between you, at least in the first runner-up, which is Miss Genesis Ryan.
Yes.
So you were awarded People's Choice Award, which is a really big one. Yeah. Best in Interview and Best in Swimwear.
Yes.
You had some really great accolades that you got that night. And when you hit that stage, how did you feel? What was going through your mind then?
When I hit the stage, especially in swimwear, I wanted to shoot out like a cannon. That's the effect that I wanted. I had my headphones in the whole time, and once I was signaled, okay, ready, I took that out and I just went for it. And, there are people out there who are supporting different people, maybe want to see me fail. But, I focused on the people who were there and wanted to see me win and to shine and to grow. And I just felt like I owed it to them, really.
I think that's so important, Tahiti, that you said that, because... And I think, Derri, you can agree.
Absolutely.
There's people in life that want to see us fail, but watch us just to see us fail.
And that was actually part of my speech on Saturday night. Like women in particular, I think we need to uplift each other more, encourage each other. I think the world would be so much a better place if we did more of that,
But what I loved about what Tahiti said is, despite those people that do want to watch us fail or fall flat on our face, she knows that there's people out there who want us to win, and that's where her focus went. Because it's so easy for us to focus on the naysayers that we don't return back to our supportive, loving group, right?
I always remember too, like I watched Joel Osteen at times, the international pastor there, and he always says, like, on social media, don't read the comments. Yeah. I think that's so important.
Yeah, it is.
To keep it positive as well.
Yeah, it is. Everybody's going from their own kind of filter and perspective, and you've got to keep, I'm going to say, your rose filtered glasses on, perfectly perched on your face, and you got to go through that lens of life as you see it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, not let anybody else
do your own thing, because just you have your own path.
Yes, of course.
So when crowning moment came, and you two had your hands holding on to each other there, before they called your name, what was going through your head?
I had prepared for that moment mentally, and there's a lot of physical preparation, but the mental preparation was a bit more complex. And there was a possibility of not being crowned, and as I stood there, I told myself to remain humble, to be grateful for all of what I've learned during the pageant season, because there's definitely a lot to take away, crowned or not, through just being your true self. That's going to open a lot of doors already. So I thought, if I'm not crowned, how I'm going to still take flight in this world and follow all my dreams, because that was the idea when I entered. But when I was crowned, I felt relief and a little shock. I forgot that I was supposed to wave. But, some people in the audience reminded me that's why I'm here.
Awesome.
But I felt so proud of myself, and I just wanted to see my mom immediately.
I'm sure she's here today too, right?
They're like
also looking stunning that night, by the way.
Of course she was,
Yeah, awesome. I know we're going to go on a commercial break in a minute, but before we go to that break, I want to know, as newly crowned Miss Cayman Islands Universe, what are you hoping first to embark on? Like, what's your first kind of project that you want to go out there in the community and try to connect with the people on?
Definitely, and connect with the people is exactly what I want to do. First and foremost, through a social media presence, take Cayman Islands on this journey with me. And I spoke to Compass TV about this fundraising opportunity, which I've already spoken to Infinite Mind Care, who have supported me as well during this journey, and to fundraise for Caribbean mental health research through Caymanian arts, culture, and heritage. I'm thinking fashion, I'm thinking visual arts and film. On a particular question, I would like to see young people answer, what do you think being a Caymanian means? Because I know that was a challenge for me to answer, especially just with my worldly experience. You know, people try to take that title away from me sometimes, so I would like to give it back to the people. And and I think that it would be a sense of community. And, you know, we see a lot of American cases or British cases on mental health, and I think we should really bring it home and understand our own people.
I love that. I think that was such a great... There's so much I want to say about that, but we have a caller on WhatsApp.
Okay.
So I got to take the call.
Hello.
I feel like our interview time is shorter. I would like to keep you longer.
Okay.
Let us take the call right now on WhatsApp. Good morning. Thank you for calling The Buzz.
Good morning. Good morning, Miss Kathy, and good morning, officers.
Oh, the officers are gone. We have the new Miss Cayman Islands Universe Tahiti Seymour.
Good morning.
In studio with me this morning, and director of the pageant, we have Miss Derri Dakers as well.
I was watching you live on YouTube.
Okay. Okay. You might be in the older segment part of it. Did you have a question or a comment for our new Miss Cayman Islands Universe, Miss Tahiti?
We had meant to fly on roads or anywhere else.
Okay. Well, we're not on that. We're not talking about that right now. So I'm so sorry. But I have to deviate from that conversation and stick with our topic right now, which is Miss Cayman Islands Universe Tahiti Seymour. But thank you for calling and giving a comment. But I don't want to take any time away from her interview. I just absolutely want to focus on her and her achievements right now. Okay? All right, let's go to a commercial break right now. And when we come back, I also want to hear, all about your plans, really. You got Miss Universe that's coming up very soon. Yes. So there's a whole lot to find out about what your plans are upcoming. All right, let's go to a commercial break.
Thank you.
Cruise into summer with expert service from Automotive Art Cayman. More than a retail store, it's your one-stop auto care shop. We offer paint, detailing, accessories, wheels, Yamaha parts and products, batteries, tire repairs, tire changes, and more. Need top-tier shine and protection? Grab Gibson detailing gear, Chevron synthetic oil, and Axiom car care kits. Get expert service with premium products all under one roof. Wherever you cruise, make your pit stop at Automotive Art first. Find us on Shetton Road and follow us at Auto Art KY on Instagram and Automotive Art Cayman on Facebook.
This is how we wake you up in the morning. Praise time on Radio Cayman.
Are you ready? Here we go. Set. I feel like running, skip it, run it. Feel like skip it.
Praise time.
Jesus in the morning.
I will. So send me, Lord. I will go.
Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
Start. Stop. That's how long it takes to react to a child crossing the street. How long would it take you to apply the brakes? How long would it take the parents to forgive you? How long would it take you to forgive yourself? Slow down. Save a life. Not only theirs, but your own. Texting, speeding, and ignoring safety rules can cost lives. Visit gov.ky/road safety to learn more and help keep our roads safe.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
right, welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and in studio with me, I have from the Miss Cayman Islands Universe Committee, we have the director, and Derri Lee, of course. I can't just say director and not say your name, Derri. I'm sorry. And then we have the newly crowned Miss Cayman Islands Universe. We have Miss Tahiti Seymour in studio. Yes, we've got the wave. We've got the wave.
Everyone.
I've been working on the wave too.
Great.
Now, Tahiti, before we got that call, right before we went to commercial break, I loved what you had said in how you want to just first connect with people. And in asking Caymanians, you know, what is it to be Caymanian?
Yes.
And that is it's a simple question, but there's so much depth to it. Because the conversations that I've had with my Caymanian friends and just trying to, I guess, struggling with their own identity sometimes, it's a very real thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different cultural influences here. A lot of people come in and saying this is how things should be done here in Cayman, right? And so it can be hard to just stand on your own feet, and especially now being the minority in your own country, right? So there's that sense of Caymanianism can be lost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll be lost, but I think there needs to be a better understanding of I'm not Caymanian by birth here, right? I've been here 20 years, so in that sense, perhaps, right?
Okay, right.
But what does it
know
mean
that.
to be Caymanian, right? So when it comes to, I guess, identity, what do you think Caymanians are struggling the most with in just connecting with their identity here?
I mean, well, firstly, I keep plugging in this book title because it's done a whole lot for my success in my academic career. It's Defining the Caymanian Identity by Christopher A. Williams. And one quote that really struck out to me, it was something along the lines of, it's evolving. So we're working from going from a traditionalist mindset to a modern mindset on what it means, the opinion of being a Caymanian, because we're so multicultural. To give it one title, one genre, it's entirely an opinion at this point. And I think what we need to do to connect further with this is, you know, we have dying arts, cultures, culinary cuisines. I mean, we don't want it to die with us, the young generation, but we should just embrace all of the color and the variance here. And I think that people who do try to classify it as one thing are just less informed on the evolution of our country, because we're growing and we are statistically outnumbered, but we shouldn't let that erase us either.
I agree. And I think with you trying to keep that conversation going, is going to be a beautiful thing, and just helping people just to resonate, to reflect.
Yes.
And I also think that like Tahiti's generation is not going to be as passive as my generation, honestly. And they're going to be a bit more outspoken and take the bull by the horns and, take Cayman back.
I like seeing that happen through the generations. I hope each generation gets more and more outspoken instead of more silenced or, you know, feeling like their voice doesn't matter. That's not the case at all.
No.
As a woman, and you are out there representing women, right? Young women, young girls, women of all ages.
Mm-hmm.
But as a young woman yourself, what do you think are some of the biggest struggles women are facing that we don't necessarily talk about? And I say that because I see a huge divide now happening between men and women.
Right, yeah.
And it's just a little scary to me. So I feel like there's new things emerging, or old things reemerging for women to deal with. So when it comes to your generation of women, what are the kind of the biggest struggles out there, and how do you feel as Miss Cayman Islands that you can kind of support women through that struggle?
Yes, definitely. And I love this question because I'm sitting on a piece of content, social media content, that answers this question. I didn't post it because I was still putting it together. I'm a perfectionist. I like to make it all look nice. But the problem, or the biggest issue, I think, for women my age or my generation, I think it's just understanding that we have a newfound wealth of choice, and you can choose your career, you can choose your partner, you can choose how you make your mark on the world. I mean, from being a homemaker to climbing the corporate ladder, we're just exceeding anyway. And I think, you know, for young women coming up behind us, I think we shouldn't deter them for how big they dream, especially Caymanian girls, because we're already very, very small. And, you know, one of my very first mentors, Daphne Ewing Chow, who, you know, pushed my work on the COVID pandemic on Forbes magazine, you know, it's important to network as well. And getting your voice out there through technology, we have to speak up and be more outspoken to deliver to the world what our needs are. You know, if we don't ask for it, we won't really get it. So along those lines, just be brave, network, and find like-minded people who not only think the same as you, but would like to, you know, take the community to another level.
I love the fact that you honored choice.
Yes.
You know, and emphasize that we, you know, women nowadays have more of a choice and explore those choices. I love that you emphasize that right there. I think that's important. Yeah. Okay. Wow. You also, I mean, you said something there that I can't let this go, because what, can you go back to Forbes? What do you mean Forbes? You're working Forbes? What did I miss? I missed something.
Yes. Huge thanks to just this earth angel, we call her, Daphne Ewing Chow. I was 17 years old, and I am a lover of creative writing and film. So, you know, it was during the lockdown. I got some footage, some video footage of how the island was like a ghost town. And I saw the struggle, especially because we're so small. Everybody's locked inside, and it just we were so not used to that. And I wanted to capture that moment in time, and I paired it with a poem. And it ended up on the Cayman Islands government TV channel before the press briefings. And it was called Blue Serenity, I think. You know, funny how the pageant night was into the blue, but
yeah, I know.
Call me superstitious.
I love that.
But yeah, so that was there. And when I went back to boarding school, you know, they pushed that as well. And I just really felt the support of Caymanians as well at that time.
And so it got to Forbes?
Yes.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, yes. You can't just say yes. There has to be more to that. She has so much to say. And then when it comes to an amazing acknowledgement like that, yes.
Yes. So, my goodness. I mean, that was a huge moment.
Yeah.
That was a huge moment. My mom, she was so proud. And she actually reached out to my mom. She found who my mom was and asked for permission first to reach out to me. And we had a group call meeting, and we discussed what it would look like. And, you know, she really enjoyed what I had to say. I wasn't trained in creative writing, but I just naturally just love writing in general. So I worked with, I believe it's Loop Cayman as well. I, of course, did a tribute to my mother for Mother's Day. And I was even asked questions like, what do you think the COVID-19 pandemic means for young people? So answering those things. And she even invited me to attend the Youth United Nations Summit on Food Security, which unfortunately I couldn't attend at the time. But I believe I paid tribute to her in another way with my dissertation.
Oh, awesome. There's so much to learn about you. I love it. I love that you're so curious. You're intelligent.
Yes.
You are expressive. I love it. There's so many beautiful qualities about you.
Thank you so much.
So it's important. You're welcome. Okay. I you know, now we'll get all gushy and let me not do that because I'll start crying. Okay. So you have a platform.
I do.
Tell us about the platform.
Yes. So it started out as the arts, but there's so much more to it. There's layers. So it went to culture, and then it was heritage. So Caymanian arts, culture, and heritage. And there are somewhere in the archives pictures of me at Gimme Story, at Cultural Foundation, Saturday morning, doing poetry readings. And those were my first loves. So growing up, I found it very challenging to find ways to train myself and explore more about those industries. And this is what pushed me to end up leaving to go to boarding school too, because there was an IB film program that wasn't available in Cayman. as well as the languages. But I wanted to use this platform for island creatives who just don't have the resources, especially because it may, affordability as well to afford different programs, just creating that access for Caymanians because, people are calling out for help in that area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, this is your platform, or is this also the Miss Universe Cayman Islands platform?
The Miss Universe Cayman platform is Jasmine, and they're the only palliative care and hospice provider in Cayman. So when I did my stashing speech, I thought it was great that I could combine arts, just with people who are struggling with illness, just having some ownership of who you are, just expressing yourself with art. So that's the
because it can be very therapeutic.
Yeah,
doing different arts,
definitely,
especially when you're going through an illness. Ooh, so there's some great partnerships that that you could make happen.
I'd love to explore that.
I'm like, my mind is like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like 5 jobs.
We need to talk.
Okay, we only have a minute here, and I've got to end the show. So I would like longer interview times with Tahiti. I'm letting Miss Derri, I'm letting you know, because if you have to help organize her schedule.
Much to say. And I hope that today,
Susan, I want longer times with Tahiti. Mom, yes, okay, everybody's in agreement. All right, thank you. So we got to wrap up, but in saying that, if there's anything that you want to say as a thank you, any shout outs.
Well, I guess thanks for having us, and I hope that the world can see, the Cayman can see the humility, the eloquence, and intelligence, not just the beauty, here today, Tahiti. And she certainly is a blessing, and I'm really happy to be, have her as our queen, and the company is excited to work with her and head to Thailand. So thanks to Radio Cayman for having us. I just want to give a big shout out to the Cayman Islands Government Tourism, as well as Compass Media, King Sports Center, and Finish in Touch, all the great sponsors out there, Kurt Freeport, for just really helping us make the pageant night happen. And yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Tahiti, what about you? Any closing words?
Yes, I'll just say again that we're hosting a Crowned and Cayman Proud event, just a celebration for the crowning that the whole community is welcome to join. And this is at the Theoline L. McCoy Primary School, formerly known as the Boddentown Primary School. And in addition, I will be exploring different social media platforms such as YouTube or TikTok. I know those are some that people use. So just to take everyone on the journey with me and make you feel like you're really there.
Awesome. Thanks for connecting with us today and letting us know what your plans are.
Thank
officially
you.
Meeting you. It was a great interview, and I can't wait to talk to you again throughout the year to hear what's going on. We have Miss Universe coming up. What's the date for it? Because I know there's so much prep that's going to go on there, right?
It's the 20th of November, which will be the 21st in Asia. But yeah, so we're really looking forward to that and just supporting Tahiti on the world stage, and we'll obviously keep everybody posted on where to watch that.
Absolutely. And hopefully before you go, we can have another interview with you then and learn all about your prep, what you're doing, where your mind's at, that kind of thing.
I would love to.
I would love to too. All right.
Thank you.
Got to wrap the show. Thanks for joining us this morning. And we're going to take some pictures now.
Yay.
Everybody have a wonderful Thursday and a great weekend ahead. And don't forget, Friday night, I got to say, because I got to plug one of, my coworker has a big event coming up called Viral on Friday night. So go support his thing. Okay? All right. Have a great Thursday.
The Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice. And Automotive Art Cayman. Your car, our passion.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the people's station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.